Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to the Snowboard Pro Camp live chat. Kevin here. Today I'm in Whistler, BC, Canada, and going to be on for the next hour or so to answer all your snowboard questions. One of the most exciting times of the year. This is when a lot of places are starting to get snow. It's getting cold enough for the snow to fall. Here in Whistler, we definitely have some really cold temperatures, so I think the snow's coming soon. But I know a lot of resorts out there, there's at least a dozen places now in North America that are open. Most of those in Colorado, so excited for everyone that's already had a few days snowboarding. But for everyone else, we're gonna be just talking about snowboarding, answering any of your questions. If you guys have any questions about gear, about learning to snowboard, about tricks, progression in general, definitely hit me up. Really excited to talk to you guys for the next hour or so. If you guys want to support the channel, a great way to do it as well is to hit that super chat button. Great way to support the channel, and it also guarantees that your question gets answered. So starting out, just a big shout out to everyone for tuning in. If you guys have been checking out some of my recent videos, I've been in Whistler Village quite a bit. Was at the Circle in Whistler with John the other day, making a video on our favorite snowboard accessories. So that was really fun. Shout out to John at the Circle for helping out with that video. A few days before that, I was with Andreas at Comore in the Village, and we did some flex testing for you guys. That was a really fun video as well. So really fun early season, and the plans next for me and for what's happening on the channel is I'm going to go down to Colorado in a few days to snowboard with TJ. So TJ is down there at the moment, TJ at Board Archive, and gonna get some days on snow, early days snowboarding in Colorado. So excited for that. And then here in Whistler, it usually opens about mid to the third week in November. So we're gonna see what happens here in Whistler. Hopefully these cold temperatures continue. But yeah, shout out to everyone for tuning in early. We got Kat, my man Snow. We got Adam Searles on here. We got Zach, Jack Ripper. Oh, happy Halloween everyone too. Yeah, if you guys are going out for Halloween tonight or tomorrow night, have a good time. Be safe out there. Max Shreds on here. We got Dalen. We got L Stacker. Shout out L Stacker. And yeah, a bunch of people. Kevin Soto. Thanks for tuning in. So Adam says, the Circle in Whistler Village is an amazing place to shop. Easily the best collection of gloves. And also they have a .com store, and the staff is super friendly. Yeah, Adam, I totally agree. The staff at most places is super friendly, but yeah, the Circle definitely stands out as one of those snowboard shops where John and Steve, they've been in there for just locals for years. So it's cool to shop at places that have those long-term locals who really know snowboarding and the mountains here in Whistler. All right, shout out to Axel for tuning in. Also guys, let me know where you're watching from. It's always amazing to hear where everyone's watching from. And if you give this video a like as well, it'll tell YouTube to help promote it and get more people in on this snowboard conversation that we have going on here. And all right, Kim says, hey Kevin, I went to Snow World last Saturday and landed my first 50-50 on a rail. Thanks so much for all the tips in your videos. It's really helpful. Oh, amazing, Kim. Yeah, so I guess Snow World too, that's in New Zealand. So shout out to Auckland, and yeah, I'm stoked, Kim. Awesome that you took some of that advice and applied it at Snow World there and got that 50-50. Way to go. Keep progressing, keep it going. And Kim Zigilema is watching from the Netherlands. All right, thanks guys. Rick E just got home from school. Very cool. Dalen says he wants to see John from the Circle ride now. Yeah, I'd love to get him in some videos, doing some snowboarding. Anthony wants to know, where are you hitting in Colorado? So we'll probably be hanging around the Silverthorne, Dillon area, maybe Keystone, Breckenridge if it opens, Arapahoe Basin, Loveland. We'll just see what's open, what's good. I'll get TJ's advice too and see what he thinks is the best spots to go. So we'll probably stick to that area. Maybe we'll journey out farther. We'll wait and see. All right. All3X says, what's the best all-mountain beginner snowboard? Great question. Yeah, if you're a beginner and you need like an all-mountain snowboard, typically with all-mountain snowboards, you do want them a little bit stiffer. That way, it just gives you that extra control and support as you ride. And so for a beginner all-mountain snowboard, definitely check something out on the lower end of the price range. With all beginner boards, you want to start out with a cheaper board. Ones that stand out to me at the moment, the LibTech Cold Brew is actually a snowboard. It's got like a mix of playfulness and stiffness. So great, I think good for all mountain. And the cool thing with LibTech is it's got the magnet traction as well. So really hold a great edge on the ice. So for a beginner snowboard, like beginner to intermediate, something that'll definitely you can ride as an intermediate or advanced very confidently as well. But check out the LibTech Cold Brew. And then from there, maybe look at some other boards that are similar to that one. Matt Green says, best starting boots. Love the content. Awesome, Matt Green. So the best advice I think for boots is to put your feet in some boots and make sure that while you're wearing them in the store, they don't hurt your feet. You definitely want to put your feet into them and have them just feel comfortable. I think right from the start. So if you're in the store, you're wearing them around for like a half an hour walking around, you shouldn't have any weird pressure points. They shouldn't be like squeezing your ankle in any strange ways. They should be relatively comfortable. So start off with that. But yeah, try some of the like lower price point boots first. So what I like, last season, I really liked the Vans High Standards. I feel like they're like a low priced boot that's very comfortable. So try your feet in those first. I know that Adidas is another company. Like TJ was wearing Adidas last year and he found them super comfortable. So maybe try a pair of Adidas on. Burton boots are also have great warranties and they have like a big range as well. So put your feet in some different boots and whichever ones are the most comfortable, go with those ones. And I think that's the best bet. And Jenny Wagner with the first super chat of the chat here. And she says, any Europe plans so far? No plans made, but we're definitely looking at hitting up some mountains in Italy. So it would be amazing to get to Italy, riding the Dolomites, the Italian Alps there. That'd be like the ideal trip. So we're looking at Italy at the moment. And Juju says, hey, from Vermont, just want to say thank you for all the material you put out. Awesome. Thanks so much for watching all the way from Vermont. Thanks so much. And Magic is watching from Zurich. Amazing. Brian says his snowboard arrived from UPS today. That's always super exciting as well. And Chris Ayers is on here too. What's up, Chris? Trying to pull a Halloween prank on me? You're not hiding behind that curtain, are you? I think Chris might be back there. Wolf O says, which terrain park do you prefer? Keystone A51, Brex Park, Brex Park Lane, or Freeway, or Vale's Golden Peak? I haven't ridden a ton of those parks, but I think my favorite is Keystone. Keystone has been my favorite park of the places I've been to. Breck Park is really fun as well, but for me, I think Keystone takes it. I love that, at the end of the run, you just hop onto that park chair, takes you up, you get lots of quick laps, and there's lots of I feel like my favorite thing with terrain parks is it's got a good progression from, you got the beginner features, intermediate features, and then large, and then all the way up into those huge pro features. So having that good progression is the most important thing. That's what I love about Keystone, but that's also what I loved when I went to New Zealand and Cardrona. They just have an amazing progression type park where you have you'll have a flat box and then a narrow box and then a down box. And then besides that, you'll have an easy rail and an easy tube followed by a down rail. So all these features that kind of really lend to you learning and progressing. So that's what I always look for in parks, as well as the dedicated park chair, or even I would settle for a park tow rope, anything that's just allows you to do those quick laps. Brendan says, only gear I'm missing is mittens. Do you know any mittens with the Velcro? Because my last pair broke. Interesting. Yeah. So I checked out a pair of, I think they're called the Volcom Stay Dry Gore-Tex mitts, and they were like super comfortable. I believe that they're Velcro. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are around the wrist. Super easy to keep tight. And a pair of mitts I had last year were Anon Gentry mitts. Maybe check those out. They've got the Velcro as well around the wrist. So there's a couple pairs. I know that John at the Circle, his favorite pair were the Salmon Arms mittens. I don't know if I think they do have the Velcro as well. I'm not sure if they're available like everywhere. I know there's kind of like a local company, so maybe take a look out for that. Brendan, if you're in Canada, you may be in luck. But yeah, there's a few good ones out there. And Aaron says, what are some good beginner bindings? Great question, man. So the bindings I would recommend to a beginner would be the bent metal transfer bindings. I love bent metal because they're actually so like beginner, like new snowboarder friendly. The adjustments are super easy, and there is adjusting your high back, which if you're a beginner, you may not know what that means yet, but there's like a very easy like cube at the back that makes it just super easy for adjusting your binding. So check out bent metal. I think they're very cool for beginners, and they come in at like the lower price point too, which I think is good. We got Chuck Van says, "G'day from Australia." G'day, mate. Thanks for tuning in this morning in Australia. Yeah, let's see who else is on here. Yeah, shout out, guys. We got Matt Green watching from London, UK. David from North Carolina. I'm just going to scroll down a little bit, guys. Get caught up. Jenna from New Mexico. Wyatt from Big Bear. Bear Mountain is a place we want to hit up this year. Dominic Weiland from Germany. Girl with the Dane from Colorado Springs. Charles from Quebec. Amazing, guys. Thanks all for tuning in. And we got Tom learning to snowboard at the Snow Center in Hemel Hempstead. Awesome. Alex is watching from New Zealand, and Alon is what's up from Whistler, BC. What's up, man? All right, just gonna scroll down to the next super chat from Joel Pancrez. Thanks for the support, man. You guys are my sponsors, so I really appreciate it. Says, check out Winter Park. They announced November 2nd opening. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. Is Winter Park, where is that? Is that in, I'm not sure where that is. Is that in Utah or Colorado? But yeah, I'll keep my eyes open. And Patrick says, do you plan on going to Colorado? Yeah, so got the flight booked. I'm heading down there on this Monday, I think it is. So I'll be there for about 8 days, and riding sort of like the Keystone, Breckenridge area. And we'll just see what's open at some of those Vail resorts and hit up as many as we can. He also wants to know if we're planning on going to Austria. No Austria plans at the moment, but would love to get to Austria at some point. And Alon says, you bought my Volcom Gucci jacket. You put it on hold and I couldn't buy it. Oh, sorry, man. Yeah, so hey, they've got Gucci jackets still at the Circle. I saw a bunch in there. Hopefully they have your size. But I think they have Gucci jackets at Showcase as well. But yeah, man, as soon as I saw that one in Comore, I got Andreas to put it on hold for me. I would have bought it on the spot, but it was after hours and I had to wait till the next day. But yeah, the Volcom outerwear, I'm a big fan. I always shop around too. I always like trying other stuff. I'm not just like totally loyal to Volcom for, whatever reason. I really just, I do look around, and for me, it's just like the fit, how light it is. I love like the light weight of it, and then also like it's Gore-Tex, and it's not like super expensive priced Gore-Tex. It's like reasonable, and then just very functional too with all the pockets and just the overall design, how everything goes together. I'm a big fan of the Volcom outerwear. So yeah, I'm stoked to ride that Gucci, which is named after Brian Gucci, like famous big mountain snowboarder. So stoked to get to ride that. I'll probably take it to Colorado and get some days on it out there. All right, so Jack Ripper with the $10 super chat. Thanks for being a sponsor, Jack. Says, how much of this $10 does YouTube take? It's a good question, man. I'm not sure. I think they do get some kind of cut, but they're kind of like putting together this whole thing with enabling the live chat. So I don't mind giving a little bit to them as long as we get to have a conversation and talk. So really appreciate it, man. And Dylan Engel says, should revisit us in Revi. So that's Revelstoke, BC. Snow is supposed to be unreal this year. Yeah, I would love to get back to Revelstoke. When I was there last time, we had like beautiful sunny days and got to do some splitboarding, but we didn't get much snowfall. So hopefully this year we'll just like plan a shorter range trip, just like leave when we see the snow comes, and yeah, get that real Revelstoke experience. Claire Russell says, if you are a beginner/intermediate, will you really notice a difference in board shape, camber, reverse camber, etc.? Yeah, absolutely. So basically, those like different shapes, they can really affect your riding. Not always, but I feel like so with camber, with like the full camber snowboard, what the feel is that you have lots of control, but as you go from turn to turn, because there's like that full camber feeling, I think you're prone to like sort of like catching the tail of your board as turns come around a little bit more if you don't fully commit. So it can be less of like a forgiving sort of like playful turning style board when it's like that full camber, especially if the camber is stiff. It makes it, even for myself, riding like a full camber stiff board, I really have to commit to each edge, where a reverse camber or boards that have like some reverse camber built in. So that's like where the lowest point is in the middle of the board, and then the edges rise away from the snow. That's just going to give it like that more playful, easy feel, like easier to turn. You're going to feel like, yeah, as you go through turns, you're not going to have really any catches on your tail as you go through those turns. But then you lose a little bit of control. So there's kind of like a balance in there where you want, I think the best is to have some camber like between your feet or under your feet, with the rocker either right in the center of the board or going out towards the tips, something that helps to lift those edges away. So it definitely makes a difference, and I think like a good beginner board will have a combination of some camber, but mostly rocker out towards the tips to make it a bit more catch-free. TJL says, what do you do in the off season? Snowboard. I just been snowboarding. This past year, I went to New Zealand twice, to Australia, to Chile, did some North American snowboarding in the summertime at Mount Hood in Oregon. So the snowboard season never stops for me, but in my downtime, I like to, spend time with my friends. It's usually just like, maybe doing hikes, nothing too like crazy or like risky, because I take so much risk in snowboarding. When I'm not snowboarding, I just want to kind of take it easy and play it mellow. So, but yeah, you can snowboard all year if you find the way. All right, just gonna get caught up a little bit. Thanks for all the great questions, guys. And we got somebody watching from the Ukraine. Shout out, awesome to have you tuning in. Jack Ripper says, Burton lifetime warranties on their soft goods is great. I got new pants and gloves to replace last season's that fell apart. Awesome. Yeah, a good warranty is pretty incredible. W. Yoder says, who has had experience with Burton Stepons? Very common question. I've had them a few days. For me personally, like I'm not the biggest fan of Stepons, but I know that some people that have them and love them. So in my opinion, I do think you sacrifice a little bit of performance for that extra convenience. So if the convenience is important to you and being able to like pop your foot in and pop your foot out very quickly and easily, then I would go for them. But there could be some downsides with performance, not having like the straps really ratcheting your feet in, and then also like if you've got deep snow and you're trying to get your foot in there, that could cause a bit of issues. But I think if convenience is high on your list, then yeah, check out some Step-ons. All right, guys, just gonna catch up a little bit here. Lots of great questions coming through. Let's see what the next super chat is. All right, wow, tons of questions, guys. I may hit up a few of these on the way. Dylan Engel says, I have Volcom Gore-Tex bibs, and it's amazing. Best purchase I've ever made. Nice, man. Yeah, I was really stoked on my last pair of Volcom. I got the Volcom rain bibs. And yeah, actually, I ripped a hole in them, though. I kind of like did a bit of a belly flop on a chairlift cable in Chile and kind of ripped them all up. So there's big holes in them now. So I got to get, had to retire that pair. Jerez says, are you going to Sweden anytime? No plans to go to Sweden, but I would love to visit someday. The Swedish people are so friendly. And Engen with the super chat says, TJ has to come back to Austria, Dubai. There's a step down box / rail waiting on him. Nice. Yeah, we'll definitely have to. TJ has to get his vengeance in Dubai on some of those features. So if you guys saw the video from about this time last year, we were at the Dubai Glacier in Austria, and unfortunately, yeah, TJ he was doing this like 17 stair rail and had a bit of an accident, a bit of an injury on it, but he's all good now, back strong. But yeah, we'll have to get back to Dubai to get vengeance on that rail. Thanks for letting us know about that, Engen. Mystique says, hey, next year in New Zealand, would you consider going to Mount Ruapehu rather than Cardrona? And just, hey, how are you going? Plus, where are you at the moment? So yeah, everything, yeah, doing well. Right now I'm in Whistler, waiting on the snow. And yeah, next year maybe I know everyone tells us that we need to hit more places in New Zealand. So I think next year we're gonna try to actually go for like a longer trip. So maybe come down for a month. And then that way we can kind of do some like road trips and check out some more spots around New Zealand, because I feel like everywhere you drive, everywhere you go to in New Zealand, there's just like incredible mountains. And I'm sure Mount Ruapehu is incredible. So next year, yeah, hopefully have time next year to do it. And Spencer Sipley with the super chat says, hey, this is Spencer from Shoemakers Ski and Snowboard. Oh, very cool, Spencer. Yeah, thanks for helping out with the channel, man. Thanks for the support. And shout out to Axel and Matty. Thanks for tuning in. And Engen with another super chat says, and I know still a few great parks that you guys would like. Awesome. Yeah, I would love the advice. I know like Europe has just so many mountains, so many resorts, and so many probably amazing hidden terrain parks. So next time we plan a trip, we'll get some advice from you first through our mutual friends over there in the UK. Awesome, man. And Max Shred says, picked up an Orca this year, and I'm debating whether or not to invest in another board for groomers and park. Something for hitting jumps, doing butters, riding switch, and bombing groomers. Thoughts? Awesome, man. Yeah, I think it kind of depends on what exactly you love doing. I guess, well, you're giving me some good indicators there. Doing butters, so you need like a board that's soft enough. Riding switch, hitting jumps. You know, for me, like I went for the GNU Headspace for a lot of those reasons. Like it's kind of like that balance is soft enough for butters, but it's still stiff enough for like jumps and switch and all that kind of stuff. And I'm a huge fan of magnet traction, love it. If you wanted something stiffer, which maybe would be better for jumps, but not as good for butters, you could check out something like the Capita DOA. And then if you wanted something, yeah, what else? Those are a couple options there. I know TJ, he rode the Solomon Huck Knife Pro recently. Was a big fan of that one as well. So maybe check that out. And then if you still want those multiple contact points for carving and keeping that edge, you could also check out something like the Arbor Westmark rocker or camber version. A couple of good options there for you. And Carolina with the super chat says, can Rockies versus US Rockies, which do you and Chris prefer? Canada Rockies or US Rockies? I haven't like really ridden too much of the Rockies yet, to be honest. So I think the only, I guess, is Revelstoke technically in the Rockies? I'm not sure. It may not be. I don't know if I've actually ridden in the Rockies yet, but I've mostly ridden in Canada. So at the moment, I would say the Canadian ones. But yeah, I'm sure there's some incredible ones in the US too. Great question. All right. Awesome, guys. Stan Deeks with the super chat as well. Thanks for the support and being a sponsor, Stan. He says, advice for more speed and get comfortable with it. Great question, man. Definitely go back, check out a video I made maybe a month ago now. It was like tips for riding with speed. But a few things I would say, like, first, when riding with speed, like, you get more comfortable with it as you get more comfortable with like turning and staying in control. So work on like doing those like quick turns where you're like spraying a bit of snow and really controlling yourself like evenly on your toes and heels. So yeah, a big part of speed is just being comfortable doing those like quick turns. And then what else? What else can you do? Also, I think like riding some switch helps with your regular riding and speed because you get more comfortable with like different kinds of balance. And yeah, what else can you do? Like using your knees. So like looking ahead and then using your knees to like absorb any of the bumps or obstacles coming. Because if your legs are kind of locked and then you hit something at high speeds, that can kind of like bump you up and cause you to lose an edge or get out of control. So looking ahead, using your knees to absorb things, and then lots of quick turns to keep you in a little bit of control. Great question. All right. Tons of great questions, guys. Benjamin K says, hey, Kevin, I want to learn how to ride rails this season. I'm just a little scared of hurting myself. Would you say that is very difficult? Greetings from Germany. Yeah, I would say it's difficult. Rails they're a bit scary and they're a bit dangerous, but you can definitely like progress up to them. So I would say start on like very easy box features, get lots of different tricks down on boxes first. And then once you got, like a good amount of tricks on boxes, then start going to some down boxes. So not even a rail yet, hit some down boxes, get a bunch of tricks on that. And then find like the easiest rail or tube you can and just start going for some front side 50-50. So just like hopping, you can even just hop over the feature altogether just to give you that confidence to know that you can get over it. And then once you have that confidence built a little bit, you can start to like land on the feature a little bit. Also make yourself an off snow trainer. So tape some shoes to a skate deck and then get like a bottle and put some tape on it and just hop on that at home and just like practice getting that feeling. I was actually doing that right before I hopped on here. I've got my skate deck with shoes taped on it and just hopping onto like a 2-liter soda bottle and getting balance and doing some off snow training. So all those things will help you progress onto rails. And Daniel with the question says, thinking about switching to GNU Headspace this season, currently riding Nitro Good Times, riding in Ontario, and kind of doing everything on the mountain. Is that a good idea to grab the GNU? Yeah, for riding in Ontario, you get a lot of ice. So something like the Headspace has got the magnet traction, will give you tons of grip on that ice. And if you're about doing everything on the mountain, it's a great board. I would say that it's also like a board. It's a bit more of a park leaning board. So if you want to learn some park, I would say go with the GNU. If you're not into riding the park as much and you just want to ride everywhere else, maybe check out a different board. Something that's more like all mountain focused and maybe a little bit stiffer. Something like the GNU Hypercarve or some of the other boards in the GNU line, maybe like the GNU Mule Air. Some of the boards that are a bit more all mountain focused. But if you're looking to learn tricks and take it in the park, check out the Headspace for sure. All right, great questions, guys. Alvaro says Sweden next. The Maca 431 says, hey, I'm from Oz and I've booked my first snow trip to Japan in January. Should I get gear online or wait till I get there and buy in store? Also, any advice to get fit/ready? I would say if you're in Australia, Oz, I'm guessing that's Australia, buy your snowboard gear in Australia first, because where you are, there's probably some gear on sale. Being in Australia, like, your season just ended. So hopefully you could find some of the gear from this past winter on sale on like a discount. And I would buy everything in Australia first, because once you get to Japan, everything is going to be full price, and it's probably going to be like a little bit more on top of that. So definitely buy everything in Australia, get it all on sale because it's your off season. And then to get fit and ready, just, get into like a healthy lifestyle routine, maybe doing some hikes, maybe some fitness stuff, some core, some squats, lunges, off snow trainer. Maybe if you skateboard, do that. Just anything to kind of be active will get you sorted. But yeah, man, have fun in Japan. Maybe I'll see you there. I think I'm gonna go to Japan the last 2 weeks of January. So Japan is amazing. All right. Just going to get caught up a little bit. So Backpacking with Kids has a $20 super chat. Thanks for the support so much. And they say, thanks for all the great videos. Welcome back to Colorado Fund. Awesome. Amazing. Thanks so much for the Colorado Fund. Yeah, we'll take TJ out for dinner or something when we get there. But yeah, I really appreciate it. Backpacking with Kids sounds like a cool channel too. I'll have to check it out. All right. Big Dog says you should score more of BC's interior resorts. There's good snow everywhere. Yeah, that's true. I definitely just want to do more road trips out to the interior. It looks like so many incredible places. And Patrick agrees. Yeah, going to more resorts around Canada would be interesting. Arnaud says, I'm thinking about buying the Rider's Choice on sale, but I have 11 size boots. Do I need a wide, or is regular fine? So I would recommend that anybody that has like size 10.5 and over to get a wide snowboard, just because then you know that your toes or heels aren't going to drag in the snow. And then on top of that, like the performance difference isn't much. Like the extra width is, you're going to get used to it very quickly. And there's also some like benefits to riding a wider snowboard too. So I wouldn't take the chance. I would just go straight wide. So you may miss the sale on the Rider's Choice if they don't have a wide version, but I think it'll be worth it in the long run. Just, definitely get a wide board. But the GNU Rider's Choice, that's a really cool snowboard. I think it looks great. So if you can find it in a wide, I think you'll have a great time on it. All right. Jordy says, how much difference is there between a cheap $30 goggle and a 100 plus goggle? I think there's a pretty big difference in terms of, first of all, the materials on the more expensive goggle are just going to last longer, or they definitely should. And the lens quality is definitely going to be there too. If you go for like Oakley lenses, I find they are like just the best lenses for like looking in low light, for seeing the textures of the snow, for adding contrast. You definitely see the difference. So yeah, if the cheaper brands is what you like and you've had some before, definitely stick with that. But yeah, the more expensive the goggles, the definitely more you see it for sure. So, but you don't have to go super expensive. You can find some good ones in the middle of the road as well. Nathan just picked up a 2020 Jones Mountain Twin. Very cool, man. Yeah, great board. All right, and people are telling me that Revelstoke is in the Rockies. Cool. So I have snowboarded in the Rockies. That's awesome. JW8 says, how do you get started again if you fall in really deep, waist deep powder? Great question. Because that happens all the time when you're snowboarding on a powder day. There's definitely going to be times where you like get stuck, just fall over, and you're like sinking into that waist deep powder. The best thing you can do is try to like maneuver your board, and so that first try to get onto your stomach. Once you're on your stomach, things are a bit easier. If you can't get on your stomach, the main thing is just to get your board downhill, because you need to somehow maneuver your board so that it's below you downhill. And from there, if you're on your stomach, you can just kind of like push yourself up with your hands. Also, like if you're in that really deep stuff, you may actually have to like pack some of the snow down as you go. So pack that snow down so you have something to push off of, roll onto your stomach, get your board below you downhill. And then once you get going, try to get in somebody else's track as well, because you can sometimes just like end up getting stuck again and falling over. So get yourself out of like that deep area and get into a track and ride it out. But super common problem. I know Chris on here, who I ride with, he definitely has been stuck with me a few times in some of that deep stuff, and you gotta roll out of it sometimes. All right, and another Rider's Choice board. S. Van List says, Kevin, I'm curious what's your opinion on the GNU Rider's Choice as an addition to my Orca, thinking about picking one up. Yeah, that's a great combo. That's kind of what I did. I got the LibTech. This is the Orca right here. You can kind of see the eye of the Orca. So that's my like all mountain powder board. And then I've got the GNU Headspace as my park board. And so the GNU Rider's Choice, very, very similar to the Headspace. So I'm sure it would be a great addition, like perfect. That's exactly my thoughts as well. So yeah, GNU Rider's Choice, do it up, because the Orca is not going to be good in the powder, and boards like this are not going to be good in. Sorry, the Orca is not going to be good in the park, and park boards are not going to be good in the powder. So it's good to have kind of like one of each to balance it out. Dudish123 says, yo, I'm going snowboarding in France, in Maribel. Thank you for these tips. I've been riding for 1 week, like the whole day for a week now. Got any tips? Yeah, you've been riding a week. That's great. Yeah, just tips, keep progressing. Try to like challenge yourself by getting onto steeper runs. But always make sure don't try to step it up too much. Get onto some steeper runs where you can start challenging your turns. And I would say like it's your first week of like sort of starting to link turns. Definitely focus on doing an equal amount of toe turns as heel turns, and try to make them the same shape too. So as you're going down, you can either like get a rhythm going in your head, like counting to 3, or whatever you need to do to get a rhythm happening, so that you're spending an equal time on your heels as you are on your toes, and it's just going to make your riding that much smoother and better. And yeah, I would focus on that, just evening out the heels and toes, doing that an equal amount, and then challenging yourself once in a while on something a bit steeper. And yeah, just keep going, keep progressing. That's amazing. All right. Toby says, I want to buy myself my first board. What are the most important things to look for? So the very first board, so yeah, cheap price. You want to have some, I would say some rocker. So look for the boards that have rocker towards the nose and tail. I like the boards that have the multiple like contact points. So like this board here, the edge is kind of like serrated, so it's like wavy. I love that. Or you can get other boards have different things too. So something that gives you that extra grip. And yeah, what else does a beginner board have? Just something that you look at too, like the way it looks is important. So there's a lot of boards out there that are that have a lot of those qualities, but then pick the one up that just looks like a fun time to you. So once all those things come together, pull the trigger and yeah, buy your first board. All right, guys. So just gonna look up here the next super chat. So Jess LV with the $5 super chat. Thanks for the support and being a sponsor. Says, what's your advice for switching from toe to heel edge without catching an edge? Yeah, great question. I think like for all the new snowboarders to like going through those beginner stages, that's like one of the most difficult things. And I think the most common problem is for like sort of like catching an edge when you're doing that toe to heel is trying to turn too quickly. So when you try to turn too quick, yeah, your board can catch in that transition. So try to slow it down a little bit, slide on your toes for a little while and kind of get it onto an angle. So you're looking towards your front foot and going on an angle, and then commit to letting your board go straight and flat for like just a second so that your board is actually running down the hill, and then commit to the heel turn. Because if you do it that way, then everything's just happening a little bit slower, giving you more time to think. And when you let your board go straight and then commit, you won't. It's very unlikely that you'll catch an edge. So definitely. And if you're not feeling comfortable with that, just take it to somewhere where the terrain is even more mellow. So like the easier the terrain, the more easier it will be to commit to like letting your board go straight. So I think that's like the best way of avoiding that edge catch problem. But yeah, thanks for the support, and yeah, I hope you nail it. Tyler Fryer with the super chat as well says, tips for going into the trees for the first time. Awesome question. I would say for the first time, definitely go in with somebody who like knows where they're going or what they're doing. So somebody with more experience with you than you helps. Also like, yeah, gain that knowledge for yourself. So know where the trees come out. And definitely like whenever you're riding with trees, like always ride with a partner for safety reasons too, because if one of you gets into any kind of trouble, gets into a tree well, or just has whatever happen, you should always be like looking out for each other. Also like riding through trees, think about, you have to do more turns. So like practice maybe ahead of time, doing like lots of quick turns, and look between the trees so that you're like, as you're riding, you're always looking and planning the next tree to go in between. So yeah, quick turns in between trees, ride with a partner that hopefully has more experience than you and know where the trees end up. So yeah, trees are super fun. They're one of my favorite things to do on a snowboard for sure. Bella K with the super chat. Thanks for the support. Says, no question. Just wanted to say thank you for all the great content. Oh, amazing. Yeah. Thanks so much for supporting the channel. It's amazing. I really appreciate it. And just double check. I got all the live chats so far. I think I did. Yeah. Thanks guys. All right. Let's go back to the rest of the questions here. George says, any tips on how I might deal with constant pain in my eyes and my lungs when boarding? I've tried the classic method of filling my goggles with milk. I assume because it's less acidic, but no results. Oh, you have a really odd, I've never heard of this problem before. Constant pain in my eyes and my lungs when boarding. Is it the cold air, George, that just like kind of affects your lungs and your eyes? Because I feel like with goggles on, you shouldn't have any like eye pain at all, really. And I don't know why the milk would help with the acid, but man, that sucks. I would just maybe like ask your doctor maybe about like having pain in your lungs, but I'm not really sure, man. Yeah, I hope you can figure that out, but I've never heard of that before. Jenny says, have you ever met Stale or Spenny? Yeah, so Stale is a pro snowboarder and Spenny is, I guess his name is Gimbal God. But yeah, I met those guys in New Zealand about a year ago. And they were super friendly, really nice guys. Got a photo with Stale and Spenny. And yeah, they're doing their thing, just traveling. I don't know if they're still traveling together at the moment, but yeah, they're making tons of great videos. Stale is competing in all kinds of crazy contests around the world. So yeah, those guys are killing it. Surfers Paradise says, hey Kevin, next time you come to Australia in August, we get great snow during August most years and great pow amongst the gum trees. Oh, very cool. Yeah, we'll try to get down to Australia again as well. We were there not too long ago, and I guess we were there a little bit late. It was kind of like the end of September, but we got a lot of like cloudy and rainy days, so it wasn't the best Australia trip, but we did have a couple of great sunny days towards the end. So yeah, Australia is so cool, especially those gum trees are amazing. All right. All right. A Physio says, hi, Kevin. How do I get in contact? I use your website, email, and Instagram, but no reply. You have to check my beanie order. Okay. A Physio. Yeah. So maybe through the best way for the beanie orders, because if you order them through Etsy, then we get all of the we can just deal with any beanie issues, like if it's the wrong address or anything. The best way is to message us through Etsy, because my email is like, I'm getting just thousands of emails in that email address, so it's really hard to stay on track on everything that's going on in there. But the Etsy order, it's like a place that we just we look at every single question or anything like that. So go into Etsy, message us there, and we'll get straightened out straight away and get you a beanie out quick. All right. Boki says, wow, I haven't seen you since 50K subscribers. Keep up the great work. Where you been? What? You haven't been here since 50K subscribers? That was like 5 years ago. But yeah, thanks for coming back. Hopefully you'll stick around, watch some of the videos. Thanks, man. All right. JLS 1337 asks, how do I get started in backcountry snowboarding and avalanche training? Yeah, great question. I would say get started. It's a good idea to maybe pick up some of the backcountry gear. So the beacon, a shovel, a probe. Look into getting some snowshoes or even the full split board setup. Also look at the avalanche courses that you can attend, and the more that you can do, the better. But just start off with I can't remember what it's called, but it's the level 1 avalanche training course. And I've done it. I did it about 10 years ago, and it's a great course. They take you through a lot of knowledge, and then you also go out on snow a few days and learn how to test the snowpack and use all the gear. So it's a really valuable course. I highly recommend it. I think if you go into the back country, you should definitely take an avalanche course first. And yeah, from there too, it's if you have an avalanche course booked, then from there you can kind of I think they recommend what gear and stuff you need for the course. I remember when I did mine, I had to rent all my stuff because I wasn't ready to commit to buying everything. But now I own all my own safety stuff and backcountry setup. I got the Jones solution. And yeah, it's so much fun doing the backcountry stuff, and I'm probably due for a refresher course as well. So it's always good to do those courses every year or a couple of years, or depending on how far you want to take it, you can keep doing them. So yeah, really great course. All right, just gonna get comfy here, guys. All right. Cool. All right, so Brian Miller with the $5 super chat. Thanks, man, for the support. Says, hey, Kevin, I'm getting a Napton Twin and putting Union Atlas bindings on it. Any recommendations on a stiff 7 to 8 boot? I'm really into carving. Awesome, man. That's great. I think every brand has their stiff, their very stiff boot. So again, I think the best idea is to just go into a shop, put your feet in some of those stiff boots and try them out. Because for me, I actually haven't ridden many really stiff boots. It's just doesn't go well with what I like to do in snowboarding. But yeah, if you're into carving, yeah, stiff boot is always really good. So check it out. Maybe see what Ryan rides. I think Ryan, I think he rides Burton boots. So maybe see what boots Ryan has. I'm sure he's got a stiff pair. So check that out. But yeah, just put your feet in some boots and find the most comfortable ones for you. Kevin Soto says, if you could ride with one pro for a day, who would it be, Kevin? Oh man, it's a tough one. That's a tough question. Oh, maybe I'll get back to you, Kevin Soto. Yeah, there's lots of there's lots of people I'd like to ride with. Man, it's too tough. It's a tough question, but yeah, it'd be super fun to get out into either some backcountry or in the park with like a high level pro. I feel like a backcountry powder day with like some really good pro riders would be super fun. And yeah, maybe even if it was somebody who could like show me around their home mountain, that would be awesome. So hopefully get to do that someday with a few of the high level pros out there. Maybe Brian Gucci, who I bought his outerwear with, his model outerwear. It might be cool to do maybe a backcountry tour with Brian Gucci down in around Jackson Hole there. That'd be super fun. All right. Lots of great questions, guys. Surfer's Paradise also says, hey Kevin, thanks for the great vlogs. Also, you and TJ do great and positive vlogs. Keep it up. Just had a minor knee surgery yesterday and now just relaxing watching your vlogs. Cheers, buddy. Awesome, man. Yeah, I hope you have a quick recovery. And yeah, hope all is well. Thanks for checking out the videos, man. And Carrie Pierce with the super chat says, hi Kevin, having trouble riding on my heel side. My back foot pushes on my board horizontal and I can't keep it smooth. What am I doing wrong? All right, so having trouble riding on my heel side, my back foot pushes the back of my board, okay, horizontal. Oh, so it's like sliding out a little bit. And I can't keep it smooth. What am I doing wrong? So I think what may be happening, because your back foot is pushing out your board and yeah, it's going sideways, it sounds like you may have more of your weight on your front foot. Because with your weight on your front, that would be why your back is sliding out. There's no like, there's nothing like holding that half of your board in the snow. So I think that problem may come from that on your toes, you're probably doing a really great toe turn with lots of speed and then coming into your heels with a little bit too much speed, which is then causing your back foot to slide out as well. So I think to fix that, all you need to do is when you're on your toes, try to stay on your toe turns for an extra like second or two and think about like slowing yourself down, like I guess like maybe like 80 or sorry, maybe like 25% more. So on your toe turn, stay on it a little longer, control your speed a little bit more on your toes. And then when you rock over onto your heels, you'll have less speed. And then really focus on keeping your weight level on your heels, so equal front foot and back foot, and then ride your heel turnarounds. But I think the problem is stemming from a fast toe turn where you're not controlling your speed quite enough. So something that could help you too is kind of like doing that thing where you're counting your head like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so that your turns are the even shape. And I think that'll slow you down on your toes and then fix that heel turn issue with your back foot sliding out. Carrie, I hope that helps. I hope that's it. Let me know if that's what you think it might be. And yes, appreciate the support too. All right. Tons of great questions. Other people talking to Carrie as well, answering that question for her. All right, so Walter says, you guys got me into boarding, and now that's all I want to do with my life. Planning on making it my career and move to Whistler from Scotland. Nice. Thanks for changing my life. Walter, awesome, man. Yeah, well, you know, snowboarding is a very fun industry to be in. So if you can make it out to here to Whistler, like, which you definitely can, there's tons of people here from Scotland, Ireland, the UK, all over. So definitely come on out to Whistler, find a job, place to live, and just make it happen. You can definitely do it. That's great to hear, man. All right. All right. Cool. I know some people are, yeah, getting ready for Halloween tonight. That should be pretty fun. Seth Bradley says, how do you know when you're ready for a new board? I think you're ready for a new board when you feel like your old board is like holding you back in some way. If you feel like, if you're in the park and your board is too stiff or too soft or too big, it's got like some element about it that's kind of like holding you back from doing what you want. It may be time for, like a new park board. Or if you have this, if you're riding on the powder and you feel like you're always on your back foot and you're not quite, keeping up with your friends because they're on powder specific snowboards and you're really into it, then maybe check out a more powder board. Whatever's your feeling is like if your board is like holding you back from really progressing onto something, then it might be time to check out a new one. And then with your old board, you could always like, donate it to somebody, sell it to a friend, or do something with it so that somebody else can get some use out of it. Juan Rivet says, how long were you in Japan and roughly how much did the entire trip cost? So last year we were in Japan for 2 weeks. I think the flight was 1,200 Canadian. Accommodation was about $70 a night. So 70 times, say 14 nights, 700, maybe 800, whatever that is, $8,500. So maybe $2,000 for the trip and for the flight and accommodation. And then we actually got free lift tickets from Niseko. But if you're buying lift tickets, I think they were like another like $70 a day. So you're probably looking at in total, and then plus food and some like, buses and things around, there's probably like 3,500 Canadian in total. But it just depends too on where you go and where you're flying from. So yeah, and you could definitely make the accommodation cheaper as well. I think if you stay in some of the, I don't know, like if there's hostels or like some cheaper places to stay. But yeah, it's pretty amazing place. Really the best powder in the world for sure. All right. Great questions, guys. Carrie Pierre says, great tips, guys. It's hard to think of everything at once. I was going okay, then something changed. Maybe an injury. Oh, I hope it wasn't an injury, Carrie. But yeah, maybe think of like that evening out the toes and heels. I think my feeling is that you're coming around from your toes with too much speed, which is making you kind of slide out on your heels. All right, so Daniel Liu says, hey Kevin, I love your channel. I'm switching from a Headspace to US Shapes Cadet as a one board quiver. Very cool. Notice you haven't reviewed any of their boards. What are your thoughts on US Shapes products? To be honest, I've never seen a US Shapes snowboard, so if I get the chance to, it'd be great to demo one. But I need to find one first. Where do they make those boards? It's got to be, I'm assuming, in the US, but we'll have to check it out. Shrooms57 says, what's your diet? Ex-vegan. So I'm I guess, plant-based vegan. So I've been just eating mostly plants for the last 7 years. And I actually just watched a really cool documentary. It's called The Game Changers, which is about sort of like plant-based diet and athletes. And it was pretty cool because it was like, it reminded me of a lot of the things that I went through when I made the switch, just like with more energy. I used to like wake up with like, just like feeling like sore and tired, I think from snowboarding every day. And I felt it on the mountain too. I kind of like felt just kind of like sore and inflamed. And after switching to like plant-based, like all that went away, had more energy, was able to snowboard longer, make more videos at night, and keep up with like, I'm a bit older now, I'm 37, and a lot of the people that I snowboard with, they're still in their like 20s or late 20s, some in their 30s, but yeah, it's just like allowed me to like, I feel better now than I did say 10 years ago for sure. Like, I think my snowboarding has gotten better as well. So yeah, just, I like in the mornings, I'll eat like something like oatmeal with like fruit and smoothies. I usually just have like snacks while I'm on the mountain, like some kind of like bar that you can get at the store. And then afterwards, maybe some like veggie burritos or veggie tacos, veggie ramen, and then even like veggie sushi. So all that stuff like right after, and then I'll probably have like another meal later in the day that's some kind of food. But yeah, that's what I've been doing the last 7+ years, and it's worked out really well. And check out Game Changers on Netflix. It's a pretty cool documentary. All right, so Guy Brueggemann says Battalion Goliath versus Capita DOA, all mountain, occasionally park, and powder. Yeah, two great choices right there. I think, both are like a bit stiffer, which is great for all mountain, but not too stiff, so you can still take them into the park. And they both have, the Battalion's got the 3BT, so like the spoon-shaped nose and tail for like having that catch-free feel, which is great for park. And the Capita DOA, I believe it kind of gets like flat to rocker towards the tips there. So lots of great things about both boards. I would say like I would get the Battalion if you want that really like, if you like 3BT, and if you don't like 3BT, I would go for the Capita DOA. And if you haven't ridden 3BT before, I'd recommend like demoing it first just to see like if you like it, because it's a bit different. I know TJ on the channel, he loves it, but last year I rode the Capita DOA and loved that board as well. So yeah, two good choices there. All right, so Cut It Up says, how do I know before the season starts if I'm going to get toe drag? My boots are a bit over my board, but I can't tell if I'm going to get drag. Good question. It's natural for them to be a little bit over. It's hard to say like exactly how much, but I think like if you're riding for your boot size in the range of your board, so like if you have a regular width board and your feet are between 7 and 10.5, then you should be fine. I would say even 7 and 10, your boots, you'll be fine. So I have size 10 boots and I ride a regular width board. I'm totally fine. If you have 10.5 and over, hopefully you have a wide board. And if you're riding like a women's board or like a youth board, make sure that your boot size is less than 7 men's. So I would go by that. All right. And Chris Martin says, I'm looking to do an instructor course in Japan. What are the main items I will need to have fun in Japan? Main items for like Japan, so like deep powder, I would say a powder board, number one. Bib pants can help keep that powder snow out, or have like a jacket pant system that you can connect together, or even like a onesie. Something like a face mask, I think, can definitely help too. Something to kind of protect your face and neck from the snow. I like the black strap balaclavas. Yeah, protect your neck, face, everywhere. And yeah, just a helmet too. Definitely get a helmet. But all those things, then if you want to start to like venture out, check out, I know you're going to do the instructor course, but maybe look into an Avi course too. Great question, man. Lawrence Holst says, hey Kevin, last season you guys were really enthusiastic about union bindings. Did your opinion change? No, I still have the same great opinion about unions. I think they're really good bindings. I like them a lot. I'll probably pick up a pair this year in some way, maybe for my Orca, get like a pair of the Union Atlas or something like that. But I really just wanted to try some different bindings, and the bent metal bindings really caught my eye because of the cube at the back for the high back, and they turned out to be great bindings as well. Very comfortable, great straps, like lots of good things about them too. So still have the same opinion about Union bindings, think they're great. I just wanted to try something different. All right. And Daniel C says, won the new black beanie on your last live chat. Thanks again. Thanks again, Kev. Fits great. Can't wait to wear it to the mountain. Awesome. Yeah, congrats, Daniel C. Super stoked that the beanie made it out to you. All right. And Mezzi has a question about boards too. He says, hey, Kevin, you switched from the DOA to Space Case last season. Was that because there was something you didn't like about the DOA? No, I do like the DOA. It's a really fun park board. I would say the reason I went to, I believe the reason I went to the Space Case was I wanted to try magnet traction in the park. And I also wanted a board that was a bit softer for butters and things like that. So I would say the DOA was like stiffer, so not like ideal for butters. And on top of that, I just wanted to try like a park board with magnet traction. And yeah, I loved it. I can't remember actually why exactly I bought it, but when I did, I was like super happy with it. So yeah, rode it a lot, and that's what led me to buy the Headspace as well. So yeah, really happy with the GNU boards. Ree says, do you recommend my wife, who's never been to the slopes before, to ski or snowboard for the first time? I would just get her to do whatever you do. If you snowboard, maybe teach her to snowboard or buy her lessons or something. But yeah, I would encourage you to try to get her to snowboard, because snowboarding is a little bit definitely harder the first couple days, but once she gets going, I'm sure she'll love it. John says, when I ride POW, after a while, my back leg gets a cramp. Is my form wrong? No, because like when you're riding POW, you do have to use your back leg more, especially if you don't have like a powder snowboard. If you're just riding like sort of like a regular twin or directional board, it's going to be like way more work on your back leg, because you're always trying to keep the nose of the board up. So it's just like more work. So I think that's the only thing. You're just overworking your back leg. Maybe check your angles. I think when I'm riding powder, I set my angle more like straight on, because you're typically riding more in one direction. So maybe try adjusting the angles. Always have, like, if you are on a twin style board, move your bindings all the way towards the tail. That'll make it easier on your back foot. And then also straighten up your back foot a little bit. Maybe bring it to like 9 degrees. I think I set mine to 9 degrees when it's a powder day. -9, that is. And a super chat from Anders. Thanks for the support, Anders. Says, any suggestion on a board that does a bit of everything, but doesn't break the bank? P.S. Keep up the great content. Ooh, that's a tricky one. So that does everything, but doesn't break the bank. Oh man. So I have a few boards popping into my head right now, but they kind of break the bank. Maybe check out, what's like a good priced, not breaking the bank board. Just popped into my head. Check out the LibTech Cold Brew. I think the LibTech Cold Brew could be the one. It's kind of like one of those do everything style boards, and I think it's like reasonable. I think it's like a mid-priced board. All right, just gonna check over to the super chats to make sure I didn't miss any. All right, yeah, a couple of super chats here, or at least one here. Florian Vraby with the super chat. Thanks for the support, Florin. Says, hey Kevin, your thoughts on Solomon Assassin? To be honest, I haven't ridden the Solomon Assassin, but I have had some friends that have really enjoyed that board, so I know it's got some good qualities, but I've never ridden it, man, so I can't tell you exactly my thoughts on it. But if you can, maybe take it out for a demo day. I should do that as well. Maybe get on it as a demo and give you some feedback. But I know it's a pretty popular board. All right. Tons of great questions here, guys. 179 people on here, 73 likes. Really appreciate it. All right. Jack Ripper says, I thought David was moving to Whistler. It was hinted at a few months ago. Oh man, I hope David moves to Whistler. What's he waiting for? I gotta message David, see how he's doing. He's been just absolutely killing it on his channel, David Jones, with the fingerboard weeks. So hope all that's going well for him. And yeah, I hope to get to ride with David soon. Kaz says, snowboarding is heat more fun than skiing. Taught a skiing friend to board this year and he loved it. Awesome. Yeah, it'd be great this year if everyone that watches this channel, if we all did a teach, doesn't have to be a skier, but teach somebody to snowboard day, just to get more snowboarders going in the sport. So maybe that'll be a thing we can create. Teach somebody to snowboard day. All right. Me Dixie. Oh, good one. Will you ever go on another trip with David Jones? I love the Japan videos you did with him. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll definitely. I think David's down to do another Japan trip. Yeah, I'll have to ask him about that because we're in the midst of planning that trip, and yeah, we'll have to get him included. And J.E. says, definitely get your wife lessons, and neither will enjoy the experience if you try to teach her. Yeah, it is definitely tricky to teach your significant other or your family or good friends to snowboard. It doesn't always work, but I think it's tough because if you're with say your wife, you want her to learn so badly that you then overteach and then you start to get frustrated and you're less patient with each other. And so it can definitely be a struggle, but if you get lessons, that's great. If you don't and you want to try to teach, I would say the best thing to do with your friends and family or wife or husband is to teach them as little, just give them very little things to learn and have very low expectations, because if you start to really want them to learn and you're yelling at them, the worst thing I've seen is it was a husband just shouting at his wife to bend her knees, and she was I am bending my knees, and he's bend them more, and I was oh my god, this is gonna turn out bad. There's gonna be a breakup at the end of the day. But yeah, definitely just patience, no yelling. Very simple instructions. I think that's the best way. All right. Lars DX says, Kevin, what's up? Looking to expand my quiver. I have a huck knife and looking into getting a mine expander or Kazoo Pro, and I live in Colorado. Which do you recommend for my quiver? Oh, wow. Okay, so you've got the huck knife, which is a great park board, mine expander or Kazoo. I would go for the mind expander just because you've got a great park board, you might as well get a great powder board. And the Kazoo Pro is a very good all mountain board, but I think the mind expander would be better in powder. So more will be better for you I think on those Colorado park day or powder days. So yeah, that'd be a sick quiver. Mind expander and huck knife. That's a great combo. All right. Tons of great questions here, guys. Just scrolling through. All right. So Matthew says, so I've been snowboarding for about a year now. When's a good time to actually start upgrading my equipment? Yeah, definitely just as you feel like, if something in your equipment is holding you back, then that's when it's time to upgrade. And then you can like donate or sell it to like somebody else who's kind of like learning. But yeah, just as you feel like you want to progress and it's something's holding you back, definitely upgrade it to the next level. All right, so Galactica Yachts 101 says, do you know the price to demo boards from Comor in Whistler? I don't, but yeah, this is their first year doing demo boards at Comor. So I would imagine they'll be around like, I don't know, between $50 to $70. Maybe around the 70 mark. I think that's kind of like average for a day. And some places, like if you demo a board and then you end up buying a board, you like get that money put towards the board you buy. So that's like something to keep in mind. But I would say just, yeah, call Comor. Tell them that you heard from Kevin at SnowboardProCamp that they demo boards and how much is it? But yeah, their first season doing demo boards there. So that's pretty cool. Tomlin 2004 watching from Taiwan. What up, Tomlin? And Jen, answering somebody's question. The cool thing about the live chat, we got everyone helping each other out as well. It says the Mercury isn't a good beginner board. Horoscope or Skate Banana are better. Yeah, I totally agree. Great, and Jen, you're the man. Mr. M says, what's your tip for knee pad protection? I would say like check out some like you want to get like sort of like the most low profile knee pads you can. Check out some like volleyball knee pads. I found that I don't wear knee pads, but I think at one point I did because I had like a small knee injury. So I got some like volleyball knee pads and I felt that they worked really well. Florence says, speaking of bindings, what do you guys think about the Flow Stepons? Flows are good, they're convenient, but the problem I've seen people have with flows is that you always have to be on your knees to put your foot into the binding, which you're not always like in the best position to like be on your knees to get your foot in. So that can be an issue once in a while. Also, flows, when the snow gets in there, it causes more of a problem than with most bindings. It's like because your boot has to fit in properly to get the back up in it. I've definitely seen people have some issues, like if you're in powder and you get one of your bindings off, that it's just trouble trying to get it back on. So there's a couple issues, but they do have the convenience factor, so you just have to like weigh that out. Is it worth the convenience for some of the problems I may have? But yeah, I know some people love them. All right. Ethan says, I want to get either the Warpig or Twin Pig for an all-mountain board that I can use in the park and that I can ride outside the park. Which would you recommend? Yeah, so if you want to ride it in and outside of the park, I would go for the Twin Pig. It's just more park-friendly, and then you can definitely ride it all-mountain too. So I think that's an easy one. I would go for the Twin Pig. Arya says, why Burton boards is very expensive. There's some that are definitely cheaper. Maybe where you're looking at, you're just seeing like the higher end models, but there's definitely some like entry level type boards. So just look around a little bit more. I think you could definitely find some cheaper priced Burton boards. All right. Yeah, great questions, guys. Burhan says, what do you think about snow skateboarding? I've tried it, I think like once or twice. It's a pretty cool like niche thing to do, but you got to really be dedicated. I think it's like it's so difficult to have that like small snow skateboard thing going on with like with no bindings as well. It's quite the commitment. So I don't do it, but I've got lots of respect for people that do. All right. Great questions, guys. Let's do a few more. Actually, too, I'm going to do a beanie giveaway. So if you guys are interested in a Snowboard Pro Camp beanie, just leave a comment and I'll randomly pick somebody. And then the winner of the beanie, all you have to do is go over to Instagram, follow me at Snowboard Pro Camp on Instagram, and send me a DM with your full name and address, full name, and I'll get that beanie shipped out to you soon. So if you want a black beanie, I also have them in white. There's the white one up there. Or we also have some gray left. So if you guys want to win a Snowboard Pro Camp beanie, just leave a comment. I'll randomly pick somebody, and we'll send you out these new Snowboard Pro Camp beanies. And if you guys don't win, I also have a link in the description to where you guys can pick up a Snowboard Pro Camp beanie if you want. Awesome way to support the channel. So let's do a little scroll and stop on Burhan. Burhan, man, you won the beanie. So and it's the same person who said, "What do you think about snow skateboarding?" Nice, dude. So Burhan, head over to Instagram, message me, and I will send you out a Snowboard Pro Camp beanie. Your choice of the black, white, and we also have gray ones. I'll throw in a few stickers for you as well. I know some people have been waiting on the new stickers, and we actually just got a new box of stickers in, so we're gonna have stickers up for sale again soon as well. But yeah, Burhan, congrats, man. All right, that was kind of like a quick contest. It really really did that one quick. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. Ngen with the super chat says, Kevin, for one of another reason, we are riding a lot of the same gear. Isn't it funny? That is pretty funny. That's just we just think alike, you know. I think, you know, you got your mind right in snowboarding. You're getting good gear. You're probably influencing me on here. Like, just I'm seeing your comments pop up about you're just dropping little things about Volcom gear and GNU and LibTech boards. So you're probably having an influence there, Ngen. But honestly, I feel like good gear, people like flock towards the good gear. So I think it's natural as well. And I think like we probably think alike. You and I are just trying to recommend the best possible things. So yeah, that's a good call, man. Good picks. All right. Oh, somebody asked about the David Jones poster. Yeah, I need to get that back up. I took it down for some reason, but I got to get that back up. All right. So another board question from Tamer. Hey, Kevin, I'm looking for an all-mountain snowboard that I will be taking in the park/powder. I'm 6'2", 190 pounds, and I'm thinking of the Skunk Ape and the T-Rice Pro wide. What do you think? For an all-mountain snowboard, I will be able to take in the park and POW. Yeah, the T-Rice is a good choice. Depends on the size of your, I guess if you're, yeah, you said you're looking at both as like a wide option, so you must have big feet. So yeah, definitely I think between those two, I'm not sure which one. I think the T-Rice is probably more park friendly. But yeah, it's got more of the twin shape, whereas the Skunk Ape I think is more directional. But yeah, I would lean towards the T-Rice. But yeah, a couple of good options there for you, man. And just gonna check out some of the super chats. All right. So from Krill, the $10 Canadian super chat, thanks for being a sponsor of the channel, man. He says, hi, Kevin. I was wondering, what would you recommend to get for a second season rider, slowly getting into park and butters? Should I go with DOA or Headspace? Thank you so much. Love your vids. So if you have, I think if it's your second season, you want to get into park and butters, I definitely recommend a board like the Headspace more, because the DOA is just going to be too stiff. It's like The DOA and stiffness, it says it's like a 5.5, I would say, which is pretty, what I felt like it was, like about a 5 or a 6 in stiffness. Making it like much harder for butters and much less forgiving too. So something like a board like the Headspace that's more around that like 3 to 4 softness range just makes it like way easier to get butters and presses. It's more forgiving, like getting onto features, like getting onto boxes and stuff like that. It's just like a bit more of a playful, like easy to ride snowboard, where the DOA is a little bit more aggressive. So the DOA, I think, better for like advanced riders or even like intermediate to advanced park riders, where the Headspace has definitely got that like better, more like beginner all the way through to advanced feel. So yeah, 100%, I think you would have a better time on the Headspace. All right. All right, so thoughts on the Capita Mercury? Yeah, good stiff, like stiffer side of medium park board. So yeah, I think if it's a board that you want to take like onto some like big jumps or rails in the park, or just like carve up some groomers with, or like some all mountain stuff, it kind of like a good sort of board for that. I think like a bit of a more advanced snowboard, so like high intermediate, low advanced kind of rider, I think would really make the most out of the Capita Mercury. All right. Jordan keeps asking, best resource for snowboard trick names. So if you want to learn all the different names of snowboard tricks, one thing you can do is you can go through the snowboard trick playlist here on SnowboardProCamp, because I think I probably have maybe like 100 videos on different snowboard tricks. So that's one way to learn the names and learn the tricks. But if you're just looking for like a list of names, you could probably just do like a Google search and find like a website somewhere that just has like a listing of all the different tricks and names. But yeah, after you learn some names, look up how to do the tricks, and like that's one thing that's so fun about snowboarding, is like there's always something to learn. Like I've been snowboarding now for just like many years, but yeah, just still learning stuff every day, trying to take it all in and pass it on to you guys as well. But yeah, there's like so much to learn. So yeah, just keep learning, keep learning those names, and then start to make like a trick list. That's like a really fun thing to do for the season, is to write out like a list of tricks that are your goals for the season, and just start like checking those tricks off one at a time. It doesn't have to be tricks either. It could be like the type of terrain you're riding, like make a list of like the challenges you want to do, the goals for the season. And then you could also even like look into like making a list of like the different like skills you want to learn. So like riding switch, doing ollies, carving. There's just like within that, there's like so much to learn in terms of like not just learning the names, but then learning to actually put all those things into practice. And I think like doing a list, like a trick list or skills list, is a good way to start just learning and getting everything done. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in for the live chat. I was only planning on going for an hour, but almost at the 1.5 hour mark. Yeah, always fun to talk to you guys here every Thursday. Yeah, big thanks for everyone for tuning in. And I hope that you guys are getting all geared up and ready for the season. And yeah, let me know, guys, down in the comments after this video is over, like if you guys have any questions or like video requests, because always trying to make new videos that you guys will appreciate, the videos that you guys really want to see. So definitely let me know in the comments if there's any videos that you want me to make. And yeah, I really appreciate all you guys sticking around. And EB says, hit that like button. Yeah, definitely hit the like button if you can. Also subscribe to SnowboardProCamp if you haven't already. And if you hit the bell, you get notified every time I go live. So that's an awesome way to get in on all the live the live chats here. So yeah, thank you guys again for all for tuning in. Thanks everyone who did a super chat. You guys are legends. Everyone that liked or shared, yeah, I really appreciate it, guys. So have a great weekend. Happy Halloween, and I'll see you guys soon.